What is the sad truth about smart people? Expectations. Not just from others, but from yourself. This is the killer. If you are gifted, having an average life is seen as a failure. There are different types of intelligence. Being good at physics doesn't mean that you should manage people. I'm really good at math, getting a PhD in statistics right now. I once worked for one afternoon as a busboy, and it was legitimately the most difficult thing I've ever done because I'm just not built for that. Mad respect for people that don't crumble under immediate stress in social situations. Not being inherently competitive but able to be crushed instantly by failure. That fear of failing can end up being crippling for many when they don't ever face it. They are full of doubt compared to people who are not smart. The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. B. Russell. Smart people also see a lot more nuance and complications to certain situations instead of just doing the thing. Good oil analysis paralysis. Fear of failure is a bitch. There's different levels of smartness, and different smart people go about life in different ways. But I think universally young prodigies are typically isolated. They are at a level far above children their age, but are far younger than the people that match intellectually with, lacking life experience. Either way, a young prodigy can't connect with either group. This is dead on accurate. I went to engineering school with a 12-year-old. His parents had to attend classes with him because his motor skills couldn't keep up with the note-taking requirement. He was a nice enough kid, but those of us 18 plus couldn't relate to him outside of school, and he couldn't relate to kids his own age. Seemed like an awfully lonely existence. They don't always find ways of living up to their potential. To add to this, they're often told they should live up to their potential simply because it exists. The number of times myself and some of my current MSc colleagues have been told we are wasting our potential by not being physicians is soul-crushing and demeaning because it implies that pursuing anything other than the hardest, highest-paid disciplines is a waste of you, regardless of what makes you happy. Truly sad to see smart people in careers or lives they hate because they did what other people told them they should do, or are not welcomed by the current system. There are people who are insanely smart, but it's either disability, school, or pure stupidity of people holding them back. Or their egos are out of control and they'll never keep a job. Also, some are bullies. Being smart doesn't mean nice. Being held back by a boss who's less intelligent and insecure is a thing, too. I'm a teacher and don't ever want to be the boss. I like being in my classroom, so I have to endure administrators who have no business holding the job and abuse their power to punish anyone they sense is smart and confident. I make a point of not correcting them publicly and not doing any of the know-it-all habits some bright people have, but many of them have targeted me over the years for ridiculous things, just because they can. A lot of them are depressed. This is what I've seen most. And too many try to deaden it with substances. They also realize this but can't get out of their own way to fix it. To be fair, depression is a vicious cycle. You need to spend energy to fix the things you need to fix, but the depression is siphoning all of your energy. The worst part is knowing what you need to do but not doing it, infuriating yourself, leading to more depression. They have no effect on dumb people's opinions. Persuasion, like teaching, is definitely a separate skill from intelligence. You can throw around facts and logic all you want, but humans aren't robots. And what they consider factual and logical may not be so. Our school system, Australia, isn't built to deal with them. It crushes bright kids down to everyone else's level. The usual solution is just to give them extra work to do on top of the assigned work, when they finish that too fast. But to a kid, that's a punishment. In this way, achieving beyond a certain accepted parameter is quietly discouraged. Pretty sure that's the same everywhere. My youngest child is in kindergarten, US first year of school. For some reason he picked up math and is always working on it, like challenging us to give him math questions to solve and challenging us to see if he can stump us. Anyways, he complains a lot about doing math assignments in school, because they are super boring. At first his teacher let him work ahead on his own, and he started doing first grade then second grade math. But for some reason she rescinded that offer and now just gives him more kindergarten level math when he's done with his first boring assignment. So to him, that is a punishment. The school is teaching him to be average and conform, otherwise you'll be punished for running ahead. They are often miserable, and able to thoroughly understand their misery and failures. Being smart enough to know you're right while dealing with people too stupid to know they're wrong is soul-crushing. It gets even worse when you try to gracefully agree to disagree, and they see it as a victory, and act cocky. I think truly smart people, those genuinely rare geniuses, are so smart that the rest of us can't even comprehend it. It must be a very strange feeling going through life knowing that most people just can't see and understand the things you do. It must be so extremely frustrating. Yet most really intelligent people are so polite about it. Agreed. My experience is that most truly intelligent people are humble enough to know how much they don't understand. Unlike most truly stupid people. Expectations. Never learning to study until it is too late. Being forced to learn outside of your age-related interests. Being terrified of failure. Not being able to balance ambition and said fear of failure. Once again, expectations. My mother put so much pressure on me at such a young age I couldn't handle it. I have done well for myself as an adult, but will never be able to live up to those expectations set by her and others. I should probably go back to therapy. All the smart kids that turned into smart adults are severely burnt out and need a break for everything. I am not an expert, but I think it's at least partly the constant lack of a real challenge, always doing tasks that are too easy for you, that eventually molds an adult that feels anything challenging is overwhelming. That's how I feel when I encounter tasks that are challenging for me. I end up being so overwhelmed that I don't get anything done. Lots of people will be jealous of them and resent them, including family members. Totally true. I was able to beat my grandfather at checkers when I was really young. He couldn't take it, so every time I was close to winning he would announce that we were playing a different version of the game with different rules that allowed him to make some move that made him win. I wasn't allowed to play Trivial Pursuit with my family either. Now my sister-in-law, husband's sister, is trying to make house rules for Balderdash that penalize only me. It's very isolating. It can be very lonely. Just find other smart people. It may take leaving your comfort zone, but it's worth it. Common sense is not a gift, it is a punishment, because you have to deal with everyone who doesn't have it. And you start to realize that an absolutely absurd amount of people don't have it. Just look at the state of the world today. Politics, COVID, etc. If common sense were more common, we'd likely be out of the cascade of messes we're in. But no, and we're just banging on the proverbial glass screaming. Mental illness rates are dramatically higher, straight face. Can confirm. I'm an idiot, and very happy with being stupid. It's sad to see dumb people making dumb decisions in front of your eyes and not be able to do anything but only give them advice. Most helpful advice are a waste. Most dumb people argue a lot instead of reflecting as well using critical thinking. So you will never win an argument against a dumb or biased person. So just walk away and tell them they are right. The absolute torture of group consensus. When confident dumb people get to make important terrible decisions, we waste them. Our entirely social structure from schools to mortgages are designed for people with very average intellectual abilities. Smart people have to deal with the daily stress of living in a system that isn't built for them and lose a lot of their productivity, and take a real hit to their mental health as a result. If we stopped subjecting them to standardized systems designed against them, just imagine how much further we would have advanced as a species. Feel they can have fun because they analyze everything. Also, if you specifically choose entertainment to require analysis, by choosing deeper books, movies, and more complex games, you might find yourself alone in enjoying that. The sad truth is that being smart isn't even a particularly good indicator in living a happy and fulfilling life. You could be extremely smart and intellectually capable, but if you got beat up as a kid, your parents died, you developed some personality disorder, etc., you're way worse off than someone well-adjusted with a below-average intelligence. Some of the happiest people I know are very ignorant and uneducated. They are very poor, they live in conditions I not want to live in and work jobs I not want to work. The thing is, they grew up even more poor, not knowing if they were gonna have a roof over their head or food to eat, so in their minds they have vastly exceeded their expectations, and they love life for it. What is the sad truth about smart people? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.